Dan, All-Star Weekend is upon us. I'll be flying to San Francisco to participate in all the debauchery. But on Sunday, there's an actual All-Star game. On Saturday, there's a three-point contest, there's the dunk contest, all that type of stuff. I think the three-point contest has turned into the event that the league is investing the most in, as far as like the closest thing to star guys that aren't afraid of embarrassing themselves in front of the world. It's not necessarily, I don't think it's the best shooters, right? It doesn't look to me like, oh, these are the bona fide best shooters. Like you just look at the list. Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell. That sounds like, oh, we got a bunch of stars in Lillard and Brunson and Cade and Hero who's going to play in Garland. And then let's also put in Norman Powell, who maybe should be an all-star. Cam Johnson, who's really good. Buddy Hield, who's already in the building, from the Bay Area. Or plays for the Warriors, rather. Is that how you see it, that they just basically given up on the three-point contest and they're just going to invest they've given up on the dunk contest and they are just giving into the three-point contest?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the trend over the last several years. I mean, there hasn't been a real notable star in the dunk contest since probably Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine time frame.
Yeah, 2016.
And so, if they're investing in the three-point shootout, that's cool. I think it's the best event that they have. It's better than the skills challenge. It's better than the dunk contest. So it's better than the All-Star game. But even some of these names, I'm not expecting Jalen Brunson to be that great in this competition. Damian Lillard's going to, he's won the competition before. Yep. Buddy Hield, obviously, has got a shot. Darius Garland, I think, has a good chance. But Cade Cunningham, Norm Powell, Cam Johnson, those aren't bringing people to watch, the television at that point. So I don't know. I'm just looking at a macro level. What is the NBA going to do to save All-Star Weekend? Because the last thing that they can afford is to make it the Pro Bowl like the NFL. Because that is not an event that anyone is watching. And I'm afraid with all these changes and all these theatrics that they're doing to try to save it, it's actually going to do worse damage for it.
You drive more people away.
Yeah. And
remember, this is Steph Curry. A lot of this is the league talking to stars about what would it take to have a more competitive product. And Steph Curry was instrumental in this. And for those who aren't familiar with the format, TNT had a draft last week where there's Team Chuck, Team Shaq, Team Kenny, and then that fourth team will be the Rising Stars, the winner of the Rising Stars game. That will be GM'd by Candace Parker. And it was like a theme to the draft, and I don't know if it was done purposely. I'm pretty sure it was done purposely, right? Chuck had the international players.
International guys, yep.
Shaq had the veteran NBA players, and Kenny had the young NBA players. So you got young versus old versus international. And some people have been clamoring for, let's just go U.S. versus international. I say, I don't think you want to see the fan reaction to such a thing. It might not go the way that you think it might go.
Yeah.
And there's not enough international superstars, to be perfectly honest, too. So there's that. But for those who are not familiar with the format, you have those four teams. They're playing up to 40. So there's no timer on it. It's just first to 40 and team 1 versus team 2, team 2 versus team 3, or team 3 versus team 4, rather. And then the two winners of that will play a final game. Rosters are, 8 guys. I'm not sure if this is going to work if guys aren't going to play hard, Dan. Like, you can do all this gimmicky stuff, right, but if guys play like they don't give a damn, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. And that's where I feel like that's what they need to address. How do you make NBA players want to actually perform for their fans, take some pride in being an all-star? I think somehow, some way we got lost in NBA players and NFL players don't really care about this mid-season accolade. I don't know how you incentivize them to do that. But looking at the rosters, you talked about, the breakdown between old, new, and international. That old team, I don't see KD. AD's already hurt. LeBron, James Harden, he's not going hard in the All-Star team. They should have blended this better so you have a mix of old and new so that if the old heads aren't going to go hard, at least you got the young heads to kind of bring it back up.
I understand the idea of giving them something to galvanize, right? Oh,
Yeah.
we're the old guys. We gonna show them blah blah blah, or we're the international players, or whatever
You
it
think
is,
they're
or
gonna
we're
do
the
that,
young guys.
though?
Let's show everybody how good we are as young guys. Okay, cool. If LeBron doesn't play hard in the All-Star game, nobody's going to play hard. Period.
Yeah.
That's
The tone has to be set.
The tone has to be set by the guys, and they're so easily deterred from trying hard. They're so easily deterred. Like the first time someone takes a 50-footer and it goes in, or whatever the case may be, or you get crossed over and you don't get help and somebody dunks, then everybody's giving up. Everybody's saying forget it. And that's an unfortunate part of where this league is. I say it all the time. Everybody is taking withdrawals from the league. Nobody's making deposits and playing hard in an all-star game, a quote-unquote meaningless all-star game. But it's one of the league's biggest moneymakers outside of the playoffs and finals. It is the biggest moneymaker outside of the playoffs and finals. And for guys to not care shows a blatant disrespect for everybody who has come before and a disregard for everybody who's coming after.
Facts. No disagreements on that. I will say, though, what team do you think is going to show out most based on the format?
International guys.
That's what I had too. Yeah,
I think the international guys will win. And then that will bring on a really uncomfortable discussion after, one that I do not want to participate in.